it's a satirical writing device, he could write whatever he wants. You know.
I'm not calling it Daily Mail satire either, though it would make a convincing case for it.
Yeah, well, I don't think the Daily Mail is satire, but my point is, right. If the point he was trying to make was that women should be more accountable for their own safety and their own actions, and somebody asked me earlier, did I read his article? No, I didn't. I really should read the article, but
So
I think putting decriminalizing rape, I don't think that's why can't he just write women should be more accountable for their own actions? That would be less confusing.
Well,
I mean,
first and foremost, there is an element of him being a dick, and there's also an actual reason why he did that.
Yeah.
Imagine, if you will, that you're a woman, and this is how he frames it. He frames it that, believe me, you would have much more personal responsibility if there was no actions that could be brought against a man with a woman in private. That's the satire. It's not meant to be taken seriously. He's not literally advocating for the legalization of raping women on private property. He's saying, imagine if that was
I already explained earlier, I get all that. I don't actually think he wants to decriminalize rape. I get the point about satire, and I also agree with his point earlier that he shouldn't have to put a disclaimer saying, "Oh, I'm just kidding," when it's pretty fucking obvious to an 8-year-old the difference between somebody who's being sarcastic and somebody who genuinely is advocating rape.
At one point, he did bring out a video, right, saying that it was a thought piece, and the point of it was that there were liberals, right, who wouldn't consider something like this, right, because they're actually pro-rape. He did a video that said that. This is before he claimed it was satire.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he said it was because there are these people who claim there's a rape culture and that they're against rape, right, but they wouldn't consider an option like this. And he even said that what happens if they did the study where they later on found out that, yes, this policy would actually prevent rape. Would they accept it? That was in a video. He did that.
So does that change your previous perspective on it, Shaggy?
But actually, I think that solidifies what I said earlier, because he's saying it's satire and saying you want to decriminalize rape when you're trying to make a point about accountability. It's very confusing. You can't be surprised that people don't really understand what message he's trying to convey.
Yeah.
What message is he trying to convey?
What
message is he trying
to convey?
Yeah, well, I think that also feeds a little bit into what Oz was saying. Given some of the facts.
Oh, come on! I want to watch more of this shit.
All right, fine. Fine.
We need to move this conversation along.
The one thing that I did want to mention, that had been raised before, is he said if I have a BMW, I park it in a bad area, and I leave the key in the ignition, is it the thief's fault if my car is stolen?
Yes.
Yes, it's actually the thief's fault if the car is stolen.
Is it his fault for parking it there? Yes.
And the other thing I want to point out is that, why is it a bad area? It's not like these things are randomly generated by the computer somewhere.
Because a bunch of niggas there, that's why he was going to steal it.
Exactly, no. But because there are bad people who act in certain places, in certain areas, and yes, it's the fault of bad actors why there are bad places. It's not like a random thing. It's like, oh, I'm going to go park this in the predetermined red light zone.
Not. Only an idiot would. So, okay, I'll go ahead and be an idiot, but don't be mad when your car gets stolen. Just do the right things to keep yourself safe. We can't even tell people what to do anymore to keep themselves safe? That's weird.
I gotta say, I agree with him on that.
The thought experiment.
Agree with him on what point?
On this whole, you can't even tell people to keep themselves safe anymore. They do throw a victim blamer. They throw a fucking tantrum as if it's not their job, it's somebody else's job. It's like, motherfucker.
Look at slut walk.
Are you just gonna get a contingent of police officers to, maintain your personal security at all times? No. You have an obligation to take reasonable precautions for your own fucking safety.
Well, I got some points here. Getting drunk is one of them. Meeting guys off the internet and immediately going home with them. And of course, drugs. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you can be taken advantage of. And this is sort of why I get pissed off with feminism for this one. Because feminism is basically saying, oh, no, women, you don't have the right to protect yourself. No, men have to do it for you. And that's why I go back to my previous point when I said you can either have equal rights and take personal responsibility for your own fucking shit, or you can return to patriarchy and allow men to have control over you. Deal with it. It's either one or the other.
Yeah, exactly, and I agree with that line of thinking as well. I mean, that's why I was criticizing the slut walks. That's what that was all about, because a police officer said exactly that. He said something like, you know, reduce the risk of getting raped, don't dress like a slut, right? He could have worded it better. He could have been a little more PC, I don't know. But to hold a whole protest where it's like, well, we're going to hold a slut walk, and we're going to dress like sluts and call ourselves sluts. Like, to me, that's just silly, especially when there is a valid point there. You do bring attention to yourself and give off mixed signals by the way you dress. It doesn't give a person the right to sexually assault you, but at the same time, you're also accountable for putting yourself in danger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, you would be able to walk around wearing whatever you want, taking as many drugs as you'd like, and feeling as safe as if you were in your own living room. But we don't live in that ideal world. It would be nice that perhaps some future generation will be able to enjoy those advantages, but that's not us, and I'm terribly sorry.
Well, I'm going to bash women for this one, because this really fucking pisses me off. Women are their own fucking worst enemy. Because there have been numerous cases of this. Look at the universities. Women cannot be made into victims after getting drunk, picking a guy they like as if it's some kind of meat market, then accuse him of rape in the morning once they have... what was that? Sorry, I can't even read my own handwriting there. Once they regret...
It's called buyer's remorse.
Exactly.
Buyer's remorse.
Yeah, exactly. When they regret their decisions. And there have been numerous cases of this, and this is sort of where I get pissed off with feminism, and I sort of get pissed off with females as a huge population. You are your own worst enemies, and feminists are not fucking helping you out, which I'll get to in a second.
Hold on a second. As a man, you telling me you have never had buyer's remorse?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not going to go and report it for rape.
Huh.
Well,
I guess
August obviously disapproves of that policy. You should.
Right.
Yeah, it's your right.
I was taking advantage of. God damn it.
Sometimes I buy more
in an egalitarian society, that's August's position. If you're an egalitarian, you should be able to report that girl for rape the next day.
No. Anyway. Sorry, I'm reading my notes. Anyway, carry on.
Is that if the government wasn't completely holding the hand of adult women every step of the way and telling them that nothing you can do is wrong, maybe they would do a little bit of a better job not incapacitating themselves with alcohol and drugs and meeting random guys on the internet that they don't know and going to his house to watch Netflix.
But is this experiment, is it one blog post, or is it a website, or is it books? Like what's...
Oh yeah, can you just break down the web?
Yeah.
What I mean by that is, can you break down the crux of your article? Because some people here are unfamiliar, at least I am, not from the Daily Mail.
Can you read? I mean, can you guys go? No, look, guys. You want me to break it down?
Reporters, they can't read.
The media said that article was this man wants to legalize rape. That was a lie.
Okay, what part of your satirical argument that you're making can you maybe understand that they took and committed that lie? What did they like?
Not honest. They were not honest. They knew it. The people who wrote that said that article is true, said that is a pro-rape article, they lied. That's it. They are lying people. Most people in the media are liars.
He's right about that.
They're all out to get me.
I don't know about that.
Are you listening
Yeah,
to what I'm saying?
Most
paranoia.
people in the media.
I'm telling you, I try to make a point about personal responsibility. That's what I did. Okay? You missed that point. Everyone here did. Some people got it.
Can you pause it? Pause it, please. Okay. See, he does make a generalization. Says most people in the media are liars. What he really should have said is, and he doesn't know this because, see, here's the difference between him and Anita. Anita actually did attend class, and he didn't. There is something called the outrage business. It's in journalism. Outrage gets attention. And this guy, he's a sucker.
It leads.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, you know what? He's looking at himself as a victim. Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't say they lied, but they played up a touch. And outrage it's really good for business. And he's right. He's getting a lot more. He would never have gotten this attention without them.
Right. In other words, he knew it before fact, and now he's complaining. Now he's acting like it's a surprise to him. That's why he did it in the first place. That's why he did that rape article in the first place, was to stoke outrage.
Of course. And it gets even better than that, because if that is true, he's laughing all the way to the bank, and I've got to give the man props for keeping a straight face during this. If this is this a journalism? Is this a press review?
Yeah, it's a press conference.
No kidding. He's keeping a straight. Okay, actually, you want to know how I know he's an idiot, or he's well, basically untrained, and this did get him from the side. He's serious. Or else, and you would notice it otherwise.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think he is serious. He believes he made the mistake of believing his own press.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was faking the funk, and here's the result.
Like, what about like Return of Kings? Is that like,
Okay, is there an article there that you don't like, that you got offended by?
On the front page, as soon as you get there, one click away, it gives you a list of articles to read on.
See, and like I know what you're saying about like outrage, but he's playing, you know, the outrage business. He's playing the same fucking game though. Like he uses the same sort of buzzwords where he's just like, oh well, is there something else there that offended you? Like that's signaling to us, you know, like a certain demographic. Like, you know, Gamergaters are going to hear that word and get all like, oh, well, you're taking offense at something. Well, you know that offense is always taken and never given, or like, you know, some other sort of like knee-jerk buzzword, fucking catchphrasey bullshit logic like that, where, you know, and here's the thing, like, it's not that somebody's necessarily outraged by the article. They might just think that what you're saying is like demonstrably false, or, you know, just factually inaccurate, or
That sounds strangely familiar.
Follow. Like if you're criticizing something, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're outraged by it.
The thing is, he doesn't know the difference.
Or offended by it. I'm sorry.
If he was a professional, he would know all of these things, and he would play them both ways. That's why the photo with the Bentley flashing all the cash, I mean, what is that, a MySpace photo guy? Or I mean, because what section in the bookstore does your book go on? Is it in the fiction section? Because most pickup artist books are in the non-fiction
Discount section. The discount section.
Yeah, haha. But, you know, it would be in the non-fiction section, and you don't know the difference.
Well, wouldn't it be like the sort of self-help, like that sort of like...
Yeah, that's in the non-fiction section.
That section. Yeah.
It's in non-fiction. Mm-hmm. And he don't know the difference.
Rape culture with manufactured wage and unjust war against men.
Bingo.